lengthy conversation about high and low art, which I think some of the rest of you had also. And it took us quite a while, and we had a very good discussion. We didn't come to a decision, but I think our thought processes went up with our conversation as we tried to think about what high and low art is, and I think our final discussion was we would not maybe broach this with the children. But Joe came up with what I thought, and everybody chime in, was a really good point of discussion that the kids could take into. And his thing was definition of art. Art is everything that makes you think and feel. So that's really a broad kind of statement that you could use in a lot of the rooms, I think, or take that differently. Fiorencia?
Yes.
Go for it.
Well, I think if I have to connect this section with the others, again, is an experimentation with new materials that we did not have before. This one is using polyurethane. The woman there that is using the oil to make it look like some sort of an acrylic when she makes the candy corn. The use of the plastic in the transparent room, again, a material we didn't have before. So I think we could tie this section with that, with the use of materials, and then go into each piece in depth about what the piece represents. But that's kind of the underlying thread, I would say.
And we spent a lot of time because this artist was here on Sunday, and she had a really interesting information to hand out to all of us that were here, and was really, she gives really a clear picture of her thought processes when she was doing this, which not all artists do or can remember. And so that was really interesting. What struck you the most, do you think?
Oh, that this was inspired by the Chinese landscape painting and also her Chinese, and I think landscape, that would go well with the Japanese block painting as well. And as well as her days, I think, in the desert, or she mentioned something about how she was trying to capture the feeling of this fluidity in her work that's difficult using material that is not, brush and paint.
And she brought in the point that she loved the landscape of that artists from the past had done, and she admired them, and she knew that she couldn't replicate them. So she was using this different technique to try and get that same feel of the color and the fluidity and the breadth. Because when you look at this, it really does give you a range. And this is kind of a scroll-like structure that you would find in a lot of Chinese or Japanese landscapes. And then you look at the shadow, and you get more depth even to what's going on. And it was just really an interesting conversation.
But did she make a mold?
She made, she started with a little maquette in clay, and then she made a mold when she decided what she wanted, and then she called it glazing. She used the different polyurethane colors, I don't know how she did that, to come up with color schemes and to get the kind of feel that she wanted.
Oh, she mentioned negative space.
Yes,
Good.
because I
Yes.
brought
As
that
an
up.
artist, I've always had trouble with the idea of negative
Right.
space. All the stuff that's suggested here, but is not actually here,
Right.
is negative space. I thought, wow, what a great definition of that term.
Yes, I forgot about that. Good point.
And
Absolutely.
I really liked Joe mentioning that he saw different animals in this piece as well. And I think the kids would really enjoy that, kind of projecting their own imagination and to thinking what are the different animals that they see.
And then we also went into the other room and looked at, I always forget the
China
name.
Adams.
China Adams piece, where she took her non-essential things in her life and compact them into bundles. And that kind of goes along with that archaeological kind of thing, what's in here. And just
That piece also, we thought it could, why is it white? and why is it not colorful? Why gives you a level of abstraction so the kids can imagine whatever they want is inside them? What can they get rid of in their life? What is superfluous to their life? And yet the shape you remind me of a burial site.
A coffin, someone else.
The coffin,
Yeah,
exactly.
it looks like mummy,
A
yeah.
mummy. So it's the idea that you are getting rid of the superfluous, well, not that we're superfluous, but whatever. But yet you are treating it with some sort of respect, as I'm saying. This was part of my life, it's no longer part of my life, but there they are, neatly packaged.
Like a shred.
Yeah.
What, like
Yeah.
a shroud, a mummy, a coffin, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the kids could imagine what is in there. And this is deliberately without a form. It doesn't.
Jackets say what some of the items are.
No.
I don't know.
And China won't tell
It does.
anybody.
And it's material stitched with dental floss, FYI.
And it's dark, right?
I think it's not, yeah. So, but basically, none of the shapes tells you what they are, so which I think is good. So we can all ascribe our own objects to these peaks. What is in my life that is not.
And Alyssa, I think, she's gone, isn't she?
No, she's over there.
Is there?
Said that she'd asked the artist, because she was here opening night, what was in it, and she kept evading the question.
That's the idea.
Yeah, so it,
I think the concept is that they're kind of transformed into something entirely new. So
Right.
the idea is that you sort of forget that. You forget that they used to use objects. Now they're sculptures.
There you go.
So I'm sorry.